Hey, what's up guys? Today I thought I would do a little book haul since it's been ages since I've done one. I have bought so many books since my last book haul, but I'm just going to focus on the books that I got in the last couple of weeks because I went a little bit crazy in Waterstones, which normally, I am someone that loves secondhand books and thrift shopping and going to charity shops and stuff, but for some reason I was just in the mood to spend money. Actually, I know why. It's because I got that new job I spoke about in a vlog before, my creativity one, and I got my first paycheck and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself. So I bought quite a few books, but yeah, I'll get to them in a second. If you enjoyed this video, obviously leave a like and leave a comment about any books that you're interested in or you think I should prioritize, etc, etc. And yeah, I'm just gonna get started. I'm not gonna really edit this vlog, I feel like hauls are just more fun when you just ramble away. So let's just get started. Before we jump into the Waterstones one, I just wanted to show these Sylvia Plath poetry books that I managed to get my hands on. This is the first Sylvia Plath poetry book that I got, and it was in a charity shop in England, down in Winchester, and it's Ariel, which is her most famous one. This was the one that was released after her death. Well, the first one that was released after her death, and I really loved this edition and these covers, and I knew that all of her other collections also existed in this format, and I kept buying them online, and I bought, at one point I had 3 editions of Crossing the Water, which is this one, because I just really wanted these, and every secondhand place I was buying it from had these ones as the picture, and then were sending me different editions. But finally I found someone and I paid far too much money for books this size, but I finally managed to get Crossing the Water, Winter Trees, and the Colossus and this edition, and I love them. Technically they don't actually completely match because the other ones are a little bit taller than Ariel if you look, but by this point I had spent it's a centimetre maybe. By this point I'd spent so much money on these buying different editions and stuff that I was like, you know what, I give up. I'm happy with these. Ariel, a little bit smaller, but overall they all match and I love it. I also bought I talked about it in my Classics I DNF'd video. I bought a collection of Ted Hughes, her husband's poetry, and this edition as well, so I thought that would match. But this one was even bigger than these ones, so it was up here, and I think it's in there actually. I never unhauled it yet, but yeah, I'm not going to keep it, I don't think. But yeah, that's my Sylvia Plath books that I am very happy with. I have read all of them so far, apart from the Colossus. I'm leaving that till, I don't know when. I just don't want to run out for poetry, What should we start with next? I think we should start with the first book I bought in Waterstones. I'll do them in chronological order of what I bought. So this is The Yellow Wallpaper and Selected Writings by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And I had heard of this before. My English teacher back in 5th or 6th year actually spoke about it. And it is about a woman who kind of goes a little bit insane because my granddad came and threw me off. So I don't know what I was on. I know I was talking about this book, but anyway, it's about a woman who goes insane and basically because she's isolated in this house and she's just staring at the yellow wallpaper, and I think she starts having hallucinations about the wallpaper and all sorts of stuff. And then there's other short stories as well in this, so that'll be fun. The main reason I actually bought this was because I was buying all these Daphne du Maurier books, which I'll show you in a minute, and they're from this Virago Modern Classics edition, and I just wanted you know what I'm like with my collections, I have all the Penguin Classics, have the Penguin Modern Classics, have those Red Vintage Classics, so I was like, if I'm going to start buying ones with this, I want one, or at least that's more than just Daphne du Maurier, So this will be another collection that I start. I just really love matching spines and matching editions, what can I say. So yeah, moving on, I then bought these Daphne du Maurier books, and these were actually from a website, don't know what website, can't remember now, but I got all 4 of them for £20, which is really great. Obviously they were in a set, and here they all are. I feel like they're actually, maybe it's just the camera, I don't know, they feel this one feels like a slightly different shade of green. But anyway, so I bought My Cousin Rachel, Frenchmans Creek, Jamaica Inn, and of course Rebecca. And I guess I can talk about them quickly. So Rebecca, which is my second favourite book this year, I would say, behind the bell jar, is about a woman who marries a very rich husband whose previous wife died, and everyone basically expects her to live up to her legacy, the legacy of Rebecca, and It's like a ghost hanging over her shoulder, not a physical ghost, but like a metaphorical, spiritual ghost. And she just cannot escape Rebecca's influence all around the house, and then it's like a murder mystery a little bit. I don't know, a little bit of a thriller. I loved it. I just thought it was amazing. If you've not read it, highly, highly, highly recommend. It wasn't even published that long ago. I think it was published in like, I don't want to embarrass myself, like the 1930s maybe. So it's not like super old. Like, it's very easy to read, and I just think everyone should read it. And next one, which I have also read, was Jamaica Inn, and this is a little bit more of a historical fiction about a girl who goes to live with her aunt and uncle in Jamaica Inn, which is known by all the locals as like somewhere like they do not go. There's like shady going on, there's like criminal behaviour, and this protagonist, what's her name, Mary, is trying to work out like what the secrets of Jamaica Inn are and what her aunt and uncle have got themselves involved in. So I really enjoyed this as well. Didn't enjoy it as much as Rebecca, but still, like, I think it was a 5-star. And then Frenchman's Creek, and my cousin Rachel have not read yet. Frenchman's Creek is another historical one, and I think it is about pirates and about a woman, Lady Donna St. Columbine, who like meets this pirate and then goes off on like an adventure with him maybe. I don't really know. It says Donna will make the ultimate choice: will she sacrifice her lover to certain death or risk her own life to save him? So I don't know, I think this is really fun, and I definitely want to get to this one soon. And the same for my cousin Rachel. This is about someone called Philip who is raised by his rich cousin, and then his cousin goes abroad and dies, and then suddenly his cousin's cousin Rachel appears, and I think she's trying to like claim stake at like the, you know, all the fortune and stuff of his cousin that died, and then it's like a little bit of a battle between these two cousins about who gets the money, but then also there's something about a romance in it. So this is really fun, and I am excited to get this as well. I just absolutely loved Rebecca so much. I just want to read everything that Daphne du Maurier wrote. So next I got from Waterstones, I got Junkie by William S. Burroughs, and this is about well, it's largely autobiographical, so it's pretty much based on the author's real life, and it's all about drug addiction and, you know, how dangerous drug addiction is and what people with drug addictions go through. And I just thought it sounded really cool when I first heard about it. It's been on my Amazon wishlist for a while, which I basically just use as like another way to like save books I'm kind of interested in. And then I saw this in Waterstones and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. So it's quite short and it should be quite a nice, fun, well, not fun, it's about a serious topic, but you know, it should be an interesting read. So I'm excited to get to this one. Next, I have Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and this is like one of the most like famous American classics. I'm pretty sure it's another one that like in America you all like learn it in school. We do not, and I actually don't know much about it, but I loved East of Eden so much. I've been wanting to read more John Steinbeck ever since I read East of Eden in 2019, but for some reason I just haven't. But this is quite a short one, so hopefully I get to it soon. And I don't actually know much of what it's about, but I read the back obviously, and it's about a couple who are basically like living in poverty, but they have this dream to own their own land and, you know, get rich through that, I guess. I'm not really sure. But I just know that it's like so famous that it's one of those books that are like a must read. Plus I just loved East of Eden anyway, that I just really want to see more John Steinbeck. Finally, no, not finally, second to last, penultimate, which actually I realised is a little bit scuffed up, which is a little bit annoying. But anyway, I bought Pale Fire by Vladimir Nabokov. As you probably also know, this is like me buying more books by like some of my favourite authors. So, you know, like Rebecca, East of Eden, and then Lolita. I just love Lolita. I think it's amazing. I think the writing is beautiful, like the message and everything, like, which people love to twist, but you know, let's not get into it. Pale Fire is one of Nabokov's most famous novels after Lolita. I think Lolita like far outshines any others. Like I feel like no one talks that much about the other ones, but out of the other novels he has, this is the one I've heard a little bit about. So I decided that it's probably the best place to start for like new novel by him. And it is about a poet who is murdered, and then his editor is like editing his last ever, you know, poem called Pale Fire, and then I don't even know what happens after that. Like the back doesn't actually make that much sense. It's about you know, His wildly eccentric annotations slide into the personal and the fantastical. The editor reveals perhaps more than he should. So honestly, don't really know what's going to happen in this, but I just really want to read more Nabokov. I think he is a genius just from Lolita alone, so obviously I want to read more by him. And then finally for real, I have this little edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, which, as you also might know if you've watched me for a while, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is my favourite children's classic. It's probably the book I have reread more than any other in my entire life, just because I have read it since I was so young. Like, it is one of the first books that were like, more than just like a picture book that I actually remember reading. And I've read it so many times. I've read retellings, I've read prequels, I've read you name it, I've read it. All of the possible non-fiction facts on it. I've never actually read a non-fiction book about it, but I've read so many online articles and stuff about Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is that I've never owned an edition of it other than my original, which is this tiny little one I got literally when I was like, I don't know, 6 or something. And I needed, okay, this is such a stupid reason to buy a book probably, but I bought this at the same time I bought Pale Fire, which is $9.99, okay? And in Waterstones, you get points for every £10 you spend, or no, every £5. So if I'd bought this alone, I would have only got 1 point, but I needed to spend like 1 pence more to get like 2 points. And this was $5.99, and it's like a really pretty edition. I love the colour as well. Obviously it matches like the Penguin Modern Classics quite well, and it matches like my edition of the Bell Jar and stuff, so I just like this colour. And I was like, you know what, I'd like to own like another edition. I don't know if I'll actually read this one. I might just try and keep it like nice and pretty, but yeah, I just thought, what's the harm? It's one of my favourite books of all time, so I might as well. And I just actually love this cover. Like, it's so pretty and it really catches like the light well, as you can see. Can't stop playing with it. But yeah, that was all of the books I've bought recently, well, as in like really recently, and then plus the Sylvia Plath ones. I have a lot more books I bought over the last like few months since I've done a haul, but I don't know what I've talked about and what I've not, so I was like, you know what, I'll just stick to the very most recent ones. Let me reorganise these piles actually. So yeah, if you enjoyed this haul, obviously leave a like. If you have read any of these books, let me know your thoughts on them. Obviously, I'd love to know. And here's the haul. I just love matching editions, like, y'all know what I'm like. I'm really actually planning on making my video soon on my Penguin Modern Classics editions that I like, my collection, because plus these three, I've got quite a decent collection now of those, and I've never really shown them off. And then now I have a new collection going of the Virago Modern Classics, so that is fun, and that's all I have to say. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video.